Hello, and thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Alchemy Virtual Assistants in Conversation With. And I am so excited because I've got one of my favourite all-time people here today in the Zoom room, and that amazing human being is Lorraine Lewis, who is co-founder and CEO, I believe, of the Lewis Foundation. So thank you so much for making time to talk with me today, Lorraine. How are you?
Good. It's always good to speak to you, Susie.
Well, flattery will get you everywhere, so that's cool. Now, I know I've been a big fan and a big supporter of you and your work for quite a while now, but for those that aren't familiar, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do and what motivates you, who you are?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Lorraine Lewis. So I'm co-founder of the Lewis Foundation with my husband Lee. So we're a charity that provides gifts and support to adults going through cancer treatment in hospital. And we've been doing the charity now for 5 years, which is more than we could ever have imagined when we started. And I balance this with doing my day job. So I'm a prosecutor for the Crown Prosecution Service, which I've been doing now for, gosh, probably since 2007. So quite a while. I've been doing law, so yeah, that's me. A bit of a crazy mix.
My goodness, it still blows my mind that everything that you have achieved with the charity, that you still do that around a job as well. It literally blows my mind. I don't know how you fit it all in, but I do know you've got an amazing support network as well. In terms of most of your activities are volunteer led, aren't they? And you've got some really good people behind you. So we all know that people make the world of difference. But amazing. So it's been, I mean, I know we do bounce around in time in these conversations, and I love it, but I also think like the past couple of years, months, it's been such a strange time warp for us all, hasn't it? But I wanted to kind of ask and reflect, so we can go a bit deeper on like the past year for you personally and the charity. Like, what last spring, how were things for you? So what did life look like?
It's just crazy even thinking about back to that time. So first, when we got told lockdown was happening, we just paused and stopped our charity, which for us was really weird. It was weird because we've been so used to doing it for almost 4 years at that point. We felt a bit lost as well, and upset for the patients, because from that day the visiting was stopped, everyone was forced apart. So it was a really upsetting period, and we felt like there was nothing we could do, so we felt hopeless. But in the same breath as well, as we felt that, actually it did us a favour in that it gave us a bit of time to just stop and rest, something that both of us were rubbish at. We are so bad at doing it. But actually that point made us realise actually we did need it, and how tired we were, and there was things probably we could do with the charity to actually make it a bit more effective. So it was a very weird feeling, because you had that time where you could think, actually, let me stop and pause and look after myself. But then at the same time, you were concerned because you couldn't support people in the way that you would like. So yeah, we had paused. And then the hospitals were like a couple of weeks later, were like, well, where are you? We're like, we didn't really know that we could still even come in. We didn't think we could do our work. So it meant actually just revisiting what we were doing, how we could do it, basically to comply with everything to do with the COVID, social distancing, and making sure it was safe for patients to touch the bags that we were doing. So it meant we had to completely change the whole thing that we did. But it gave us actually a focus and a purpose, because it was a horrible time. We were cut off from everybody. We were terrified. I was worried for myself, Lee, our families. So actually to be able to channel all that fear and worry into doing something positive was a good thing. So yeah, it was a very odd time, but it just made us think, well, if the hospitals are saying try and continue, let's find a way to make it happen. And I'm really glad we did, because otherwise if we'd stopped, then we probably would have been able to start up again now, a year and a half later. So yeah, it was good that we were able to find a way to keep going.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Because I know, as well as the gifts, you pre-COVID used to have yourselves and volunteers go and kind of sit and spend time and talk to patients as well, and that's always been a big part of what you do. So it must have, I mean, it's obviously been harder on the people that are going through those treatments alone now. I mean, I almost can't think about how challenging that must have been. But yeah, that adjustment for you guys as well must have been really, really tough to go through.
Yeah, it was really weird because we would go into shops and we used to be able to buy everything we need just easily. A lot of the items that we need, such as hand sanitizers and hand creams, they were just like the shelves were just
Gone. Of course, yes, because everyone was panic buying, weren't they?
even like things like underwear and like colouring books. People, like, there was nothing left, and we just like, what the hell's going on?
Wow.
But luckily, if it wasn't for businesses during that period, that they knew actually we were genuine and we were trying to do something to make a difference. Like the businesses were saving us items, so they weren't going on the shelves, and you know, they were donating us products, and they were just trying to find ways to enable us to keep going. Because yeah, I think because everybody else was worried about, I need these things for me, they wasn't really aware of there are people out there that were extremely vulnerable who couldn't get those things for themselves. So
Yeah.
that was hard, trying to actually even just get the items that we needed in the first place. So we were able to find a way to overcome it. Everything in that stage was like a learning process. Like you test working, is it going to work?
Yeah.
Can't do that, let's try something else. And eventually you have to keep with this trial and error, you get then a system that actually works, so you can actually be able to do what you need to do. But yeah, you're right, the hospital part was the hardest because that was cut off, and we were getting patients messaging us because they were scared and they were lonely and they didn't know what to do. So you kind of went from seeing them face to face and having these conversations to doing it like virtually, and it was horrible because when you're hearing someone saying how scared they are and good they are, and like normally you would just give them a hug, or you know, you can make that human touch and
hold the hand or something. That's like
do that. But it's had to, all I could do with between all of us was just use our voices and hope that it would provide people the comfort that they needed.
Absolutely. It's incredible. It really is. And you've taken a lot of your events and your fundraising and stuff online as well, haven't you? And I think actually, you know, it's been inspiring to see that, because I'm glad you guys had a little bit of a pause and a chance to rest, because I know just how hard you guys work, and that is an important part of the process. But like you say, if you'd stopped, I think it was, from my perspective, outside looking in, it was really inspiring. It gave me a lot of hope to see how you were responding, taking your fundraising online, doing these events, and still communicating and still being visible and present, and at a time when everyone was so tunnel vision and so scared, and I think it might not have felt like it at the time for you guys, I guess, but it was really quite inspiring to see that. And if we can kind of jump forward to, I guess, where we are now, I mean, you guys are going from strength to strength, from what I can tell. How many hospitals do you support across the Midlands now?
But now it's 14. So
14!
So
wow.
From the pandemic, we've actually added 7 during the pandemic. And the reason that came about was because the hospitals in other areas could see the work we were doing, and they were on our social media and they could see what the patients were saying, and that actually was helping them. So we were having other hospitals reach out as well. But the only reason we were able to do that is because we had this time to pause. It enabled us to do things in the background to get ourselves in order so that we could get products for cheaper for companies, get things free. And we wouldn't have been able to do that if we didn't have this time to rest. So in a way, that period gave us a chance to like, let's be able to scale what we're doing on a wider outlet, but do it at the price. And we're only able to do that because we had this period to try and work and make that happen. So it's crazy when you think about it, but
it's incredible. And I bet you didn't feel that at the time either, but now hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Like,
every time it was just like, what's going on? And every time a hospital contacted, we were like, can we actually do it? But how can you say no? Like, no. And we'll be like, okay, we better find a way. And like between us all, we're thinking of a way to make it happen and make it work. And it has worked. And sometimes you do have to try these things just to see what happens. And if the worst is that it fails, then I won't feel bad about that, because
at least you tried.
You've got to try these things sometimes.
My goodness. So you're still not able to go into the hospitals, but you're supporting 14 hospitals with your gift packs for patients, and And presumably your support network and your volunteer team must have grown to support. So have you got different kind of areas of people putting up things for you, and has that all grown?
Yeah, that's all grown, and we've got like different types of volunteers. So we've got people that gift pack, we've got people that are helping us fundraise or organise events or hosting collection drives to get items. So people are spread around actually. So it's not just centrally Northampton, people are everywhere. And the beauty of the virtual is that you can do those things and you can give people those opportunities that pre-pandemic you wouldn't have had. You wouldn't have thought virtual fundraiser or organise a virtual event. So it's opened up new doors and avenues for us to bring in volunteers and connect with people beyond just the area that we're in. So we've had so many offers of help, and it's great that people want to volunteer their time to give back to help others.
It's incredible. So what's the future like for you then? So you, UK global domination and supporting hospitals the countrywide, or what's the next year got in store for you? And presumably, I guess you're looking at how you can bring back some of the face-to-face fundraising and stuff, because I know you had your big 50th, your big 5th year birthday party, didn't you, for the charity that was the Lap of Honour online, and I loved again the way that you just embraced that. But are you planning on bringing safely face-to-face back into your work, presumably as soon as you can?
Yeah, as soon as we can, we'd love to, because we know people want it and also need it. So that'd be things like our coffee mornings that we used to do with patients and their families that would come along, and getting back to our virtual so we were doing virtual wellbeing days, so getting that back to face, because that's really important, having an event where cancer patients can come and learn things that will help them through their cancer journey, but also getting back into the hospitals, because that's where people really need support as well when they go through treatment, and they just sometimes need someone to talk to. Often it doesn't have to be about cancer, they just want someone to talk to help make their day a little bit better. So as soon as we're able to safely go back to face, that's something we're really, really keen to do. And also involve the community as well with our volunteers, because we miss them too, and they miss coming out and doing things together with us. So it's really looking forward to.
Amazing. And I have to say, it's been so, as well as watching all of this, it's been amazing to see the recognition that you guys have got for the charity as well. I mean, was it a letter from the Prime Minister or something? Like you've had such great support and such great recognition, quite rightly. So come on, brag a little bit. Tell us about the kind of accolades, the prestigious accolades that you've acquired during lockdown.
Yeah, some of them are like on a national scale, and I think it really surprised us because we were just getting on and doing what needed to be done. That just felt right, and people had noticed it. And that's why social media is so powerful, because all of this come as a result of people just like watching our work, even if they're not saying anything, they're silently watching and seeing what we're up to. And when we got the award from Boris Johnson, that was a real shock. So we got an email and I thought it was fake. It was so embarrassing, and I started asking questions, and then they did prove it was real, so that was a bit awkward. But
I'm sure you weren't the only one to do that. I mean, it's not every day that happens. It's incredible.
Amazing. And the words that were written, and just to recognise the work that, as a charity, everybody was doing just to try and help make other people feel better. So to get recognised on a national level for the work that we're all doing was an amazing feeling, because nobody's doing it for that. We're just doing it because we just want somebody to feel a bit better. So for us, it was great, because it helped also raise awareness, which gave us more support from other people who hadn't heard of it.
And I remember seeing you being interviewed by Jon Snow on the news on Channel 4 as well. I was like,
that was so weird. And then afterwards, Lena, I was watching it back with closed eyes, like, what did we say? I couldn't even remember what we said. It just felt a bit like a dream, like, to be doing it. And for them to reach out as well to for us to share our work. And I'm just so glad that we continue to keep going during a pandemic, because all those things, like with the Channel 4 News and the awards, it's helped us to grow and develop as a charity in a way that probably we wouldn't have had. So I know COVID's painful and it is horrible, but it has opened up opportunities for us that we never would have had to make a real difference to people.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, I can't remember what you said on the Channel 4 News either, because I think I was squealing. I was like, I know her. I was like, there's Lee.
Can't remember a word. I'll have to watch it back.
Was it Sophie Ellis Bextor or something who was on, because it was all obviously virtual, it was on the screen next to you. I was like, what is this? It's amazing.
It was amazing, yeah.
But as you say, I mean, it's great to have that recognition, but also helps you spread your awareness for what you are doing. So are you planning to take on more hospitals to support into the next year?
Because we've had,
or are you kind of just sustaining?
So we've had the hospitals contact us, but it will be gradual, because we don't, obviously, who knows what's going on with the future, and we'll just do it gradually and see what happens. But yeah, I think we will continue to, if people want to be supported and help, then we'll do our best to make that happen.
Oh, it's amazing. So how can anyone that is watching or listening to this, how is the best way that they can support you? And we'll obviously put some links and things so people can connect with you, but what is the kind of, what's the best, easiest, quickest way to make an impact to support you in your work?
I think the best and most easiest way is that our gifts cost £3.60, so it's really simple. So like, think of the price of grabbing a coffee or a drink or a sandwich, and you think that just giving that £3.60 can help make one person who's in hospital feel so much better, less scared and alone during a difficult time. So that is probably the easiest and simple way, is just give up £3.60 and just think, by doing that, you've helped cheer someone up and made a difference to them.
Amazing. And we will put some links to your website and stuff as well, because you can donate on the website, but also obviously there's always lots of fundraising going on, and we were talking about this earlier, weren't we, as well? What's your next big literal leap?
Upsell down the Northampton lift tower, which is about, but it's going to be an amazing challenge, because it's just like one of our Northampton is one of our iconic buildings. Every time I drive past now, I'm a bit a bit scared of it, but
I mean, it's really high, it's really tall.
Over 400, was it over 400?
Oh, don't think about that.
I'm not thinking about it, but yeah, I'm going to get down it, and if it gets some good, then it's got to be.
Is Lee doing it with you?
Yeah, he is.
Good.
It's going to be good. Yeah, we'll both do it together, and we've got a few people that signed up as well, so it should be a really great day, and way to raise awareness for our work.
Amazing. And I know our Gemma has, is committed to film now, so she has to follow through, but I know she signed up to join you as well, hasn't she? And that'll be amazing. So that's July, that's taking place, isn't it?
July, yeah.
Amazing. Oh, it'll be incredible. The view from up there as well, you'll literally be able to see the entire county of Northamptonshire.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience, that's for sure.
It will. Okay. All right. Well, so let's daydream a little bit if we can. There's no rules here. There's no rules, Lorraine. If you could define what would be on a fantasy headline, or what's going to be on the news or on the newspapers in like a year's time, what would that be? What would that be to you? And it doesn't have to be, there's no rules. There's no rules.
It would be that we're in a world now where we can actually mix properly, so no social distancing, no worrying about people getting ill or dying from a virus, that we're living with it as if it was, say, the flu, and we can deal with it. For me, that would be the absolute dream of just being able to just be ourselves again. I know probably life won't be the way it was before, but to be ourselves and be able to connect with our family and friends and people that we know, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, I promise, water. It is in a gin glass, but it is water. But I will drink to that, because I mean, I hope it's not a year, but it's just, and it feels like it's happening, doesn't it?
It feels like it did last year.
Sure.
So I think that'd be great to get to that stage. It will happen.
It will
happen. So it's
something it will.
For sure.
And I really hope it's one of those things that we look back in, when we're sitting in our little rocking chairs, and in years to come, we're like, do you remember COVID? Wasn't that funny? Like, I really hope we can all collectively move on, because it's been such a traumatic time in so many ways, hasn't it? I hope that it will be something we look back on and think, that was weird.
And that we got through it as well. So
And then we got through it, and like you say, it has, whilst I always feel a bit, I need to word this carefully because it has been such a devastating time, but it has also caused a lot of positive change, and like you've shared with us kindly today, it's created a lot of opportunity as well. And I just hope that positivity keeps going, and that change and that impact keeps happening, as I know it will for you guys, because you're taking on the world. So we will put a link in, and encourage anyone that has listened today to put a donation in for a gift pack, and we'll put your social media links in as well. But I really do appreciate you making time to speak to us today. It's been so lovely. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's always good to speak to you anyway. Take care.
Thanks, Lorraine.